Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Wick-it Rules. Today we're going to be taking two simple chords and turning it into a string arrangement. And before we get started, I want to talk about virtual string instruments real quick. There's a ton of them out there. They range anywhere from completely free to 20 or 30 bucks, all the way up to $400 or $500, maybe even more. So one thing that's really important to know, and this is what we're going to be taking advantage of today, is that most virtual string instruments sound pretty good as long as you only hit one single note at a time. Some of the more like inexpensive ones and free ones, when you hit one single note, it sounds pretty damn good, but it's when you start playing full chords that it might start to sound digital and synthetic and fake. And there's a bunch of little reasons for that. I'm going to not super get into that right now. The fact that the single notes usually sound good, that's basically what I based this method I'm about to show you off of. So let's go over here, and I have a piano up, and I'm only using the piano temporarily just to generate these MIDI notes. So the two chords we're going to use are C minor and F major. So now that I got those MIDI notes, I'm actually just going to go ahead and delete this piano. The next step is I'm going to duplicate this track 3 times. And now we have 4 of the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and color code these real quick. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. With the first one, we're going to delete these 3 notes and leave the highest note on each chord. And then we're just going to go right down the line, and then on the next one, we're going to leave the second note. And I think you get the idea here. On the third one, we'll leave the third note. And surprise, surprise, on the fourth one here, we're going to leave that 4th lowest note. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 going highest note, next to the lowest note. And the 4 basic symphonic instruments are the violin being the highest, then the viola, then the cello, and then the bass being the lowest. And that's the order in which we're going to assign those instruments to these notes. I actually own a couple of pretty good string libraries, but just to put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to use this free one. The Sonatina Orchestra. I've used this in my videos before. This Sonatina Orchestra has all these different instruments, but I'm going to pick the violin for the highest note. And then for the next one, I'm going to assign the viola. And Mr. Cello. Last but not least, the bass. All right, let's take a listen to what we got. All right, that sounds pretty good so far. Let's mix this just a little bit. Let's listen to just the violin and viola. Let's bring that viola down. And let's pan the violin like pretty hard to the right. And let's pan this viola kind of hard to the left. So the next thing we're going to do is just duplicate all this. And let's do a little 2-bar loop. And what I want to do, I'm going to take this violin. I want to do a little something different on the back half and start to make this more interesting. Nope. Let's do a little bum, bum. I think right there. Bum. With the bass, I think I want to shift this second note down an octave. Actually, maybe this note too. Let's get this low. That sounds good. Let's bring that. I think I want to put a bass note right here to kind of match where I put this extra violin note. And, you know, sometimes you just do a little trial and error. All right. What do we want to do next? I want something in the higher register, actually. So let's go beyond these four instruments. I'm going to duplicate this violin track. What other instruments do we have in the Sonatina? Let's do trumpet. And let's see what octave we're at. Let's bring this whole thing up an octave. I think I want to keep those trumpet notes like starting right here. I think I want them to keep, oh shit. I think I want them to keep descending. Gross. That's nice. And maybe one more note. A little. Let me bring that down. I like it, but it needs... Let's get this violin in on this very last note. It's down here somewhere. Or let's see here. Let me hear the violin and the trumpet together. See if I've made a mess. No, that sounds pretty good. I also want to try doubling this trumpet with the flute. So let's try that real quick. Flute. Okay. Let's maybe pan these two. Whoa, what did I do here? Delete automation. Let's maybe make the violin and viola like 15 to the right and 19 to the left. Let's pan these wider. Maybe like in the 30s. Let's hear the whole thing. That sounds pretty darn good. Let's group these together and do a little group processing. Let's throw a little multi-band dynamics on there. I really like this saturation knob. This is a freebie. Let's add some reverb real quick. Let's add a little delay. Alright, let's have a little fun with this. Let me open up a track. Group 1, arm it to record. Oh, and I'm going to turn off my reverb and delay for just a second. I'm going to record this whole thing onto a single track. Alright, so now I'm going to take our reverb and delay rack here, put that on our sample. I'm going to chop this up at each little chord change. So that'll be like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little chops. Alright, I want to pull up a drum loop, and let's pull up the drum loop that we made in the previous episode. This beat is 92 beats per minute, and we're going to put our project file to 92 BPM to match this drum break. Pull that in here. And let's just start moving these pieces over. I think I'm going to cut it off at the second snare. And actually these reverb and delay are doing a little too much here. Let's cut that at the second snare again. And then these are going to be closer together. Alright, let's repeat this. And then this very last one is going to go on the end somewhere here. Something else I want to try is bringing up this little vinyl noise. This is just like you know, record noise. And what I'm going to do is just cut this vinyl noise just right alongside the strings, and we're going to make it sound like a super cool guy vinyl sample. That sounds good. Alright, y'all, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you again for watching. My name is Wick-it. Peace.